Hey guys, start of a brand new week. It is March 17th. It's St. Patrick's Day, right? I don't know why I was thinking St. Patrick's Day was Friday, the 14th. And then I started thinking, nope, it's the 15th. But now I know for sure, because Google tells me so, that it is today, the 17th of March. Also, I think, let's double check. I think we only have 3 more days um, officially. Yep, 3 more days. Today's 17th. The equinox is on March 20th. Sometimes it's on the 21st. What meteorologists put the start of spring on March 1st. They go by trends, tracking weather patterns, um, the overall rising temperature as we proceed. So right about the 1st of March. And that seems to have been about the case. Of course, we still had, some colder days, but overall it was much, much warmer than January, February. I'm still checking out my beard, which has been trimmed, but I'm trying to leave the goatee part intact for now. Um, but the Gregorian calendar, as well as the alignment of the Earth to Sun, puts the equinox this year at March 20th, 2025 at 4:01 a.m. is the official start of spring. I'll be up at 4 a.m. I will be here at my desk. I will be writing, and if I remember, maybe I will write about the return of spring. I love spring, particularly late spring, but early spring, although it can be a more of a violet time, and changing quite frequently, even within the course of a day. Hey Tyler, Tyler says, "Good day, mate. Good day to you." We're heading towards that. We're heading towards that greenness, the greenness of the season. I love when things start to turn green and blossom. Tyler says, "Gotta go." Hey, I appreciate you stopping in, saying hi. So spring and Easter, it's a time of renewal. However, we don't need to wait for the actual Easter to come. Hey, Matt. According to Course in Miracles. Now, I'm going to say some things that might seem contradictory to what some have learned through the teachings of traditional Christianity, which is fine. Stick to your traditional beliefs. And I won't try to change your mind, even a little bit. It's not my intention to change anyone's mind. But just keep the thought in mind that when I talk about forgiveness, when I talk about resurrection, when I talk about the crucifixion, I'm talking about something different than that is taught in traditional, everyday, Sunday sermon Christianity. I'm not teaching Christianity. What I'm teaching, and we teach what we most need to learn, which is the only reason why I consider myself a teacher, because I'm teaching myself. You guys give me a perfect opportunity to learn. Matt says, location, I'm in a chair in my office in a house in a city of Columbia, Maryland, which is East Coast of the United States. How about you, Matt? Let's see. Naresh says, hello, my friend. How are you? So I don't want to do any comparison for me when I offer it. West Coast, welcome. According to A Course in Miracles, we have a choice every moment. We can choose the crucifixion, which keeps us time-bound and firmly within the grasp of the ego, keeps us in a world of suffering, keeps us in the illusion that suffering is even possible. Or we could choose the resurrection. The resurrection means that Easter is always possible, that we can rise from the persecution of the past. The verse says, how are you? I'm doing pretty good. How about you? Beyond drumming says, hey, how are you? So let me ask you a question. What is beyond drumming? Drumming in and of itself is pretty awesome. So how do we go beyond drumming? So the way we can choose the resurrection is through forgiveness. Again, I'm not talking about the forgiveness that we've been brought up to believe. Forgiveness in this case is more akin to Zen than it is to anything else. Beyond drumming says, going beyond your limits. Awesome. I like that. Narish says, where are you from, sir? I'm from, Matt says, East Coast, USA. Yep, I'm from the East Coast. I live in Maryland. I was born in Pennsylvania. I grew up here. Beyond drumming says, push yourself to do better in the drums. Nice. I like that. You know, I love the story of Ringo Starr, who's an underappreciated drummer. He was a perfect drummer for what the Beatles were doing. He talked about the song Rain. And man, if you listen to the drum track on Rain, it is completely awesome. And what he said was he doesn't know who that was drumming, but it wasn't him, even though it was. Even though he was there, even though he was playing, he said something magical happened. And he was beyond drumming, beyond his normal ability to drum, which was always pretty excellent. But man, Rain, awesome. I love that kind of drumming. I love drumming that drives the song, drives the music, but doesn't have, in and of itself, doesn't have its own independence. Does that make sense? I mean, you listen to John Bonham, you listen to Keith Moon. These guys are awesome drummers, but sometimes their drumming overpowered the song itself. Not always, because there were some powerful songs there. But when it drives the song, which, by the way, isn't that the objective of music, the song itself? That's what I also love about jazz. Every instrument blends together but has its own individual purpose. It's a good metaphor for life. Hey, Jamie. Jamie says, hi, Yogi. Jamie, how are you? Daniel says, hey, Vsauce Senior here. It's making me smile, but I have no idea what it means. Narish says you have a lot of books. I do have a lot of books. I haven't read them all. I've read about 95% of them. Probably more. There's only maybe a handful of books I haven't read. Hey, Beyond Drumming, I have a book, the autobiography of Mick Fleetwood, who's another awesome drummer. He's a shamanic drummer, meaning when you watch him drum, he's almost in a shamanic state. Shamanism, it's a very primal and primitive. But you got to watch him live. It doesn't come across the same when you listen to albums. While you're on YouTube, spend some time on search up Mick Fleetwood in concert. Matt says, for someone who does not read the Bible, what part do you recommend reading? I don't read the Bible either. Often. Every once in a while I turn to it. There's a couple things. I recommend the Sermon of the Mount. They say biblical historians have said that the Sermon of the Mount, the Beatitudes, might be the only part of the entire New Testament in which Jesus actually spoke. The actual words of Jesus are in the Beatitudes, the Sermon of the Mount. And that if the entire New Testament was destroyed, with the exception of the Beatitudes, that alone would be enough to base the entirety of Christianity upon. If everyone practiced the Beatitudes, we'd have world peace like that in an instant. As well as the Song of Solomon, absolutely beautiful. St. Paul's letter to the Corinthians, which offers an absolutely astounding vision of love, what love truly is. And I like Genesis. because I love the fact, you don't have to believe it. You can read it as a metaphor. I love the fact that on the sixth day, God surveyed. We can say that God is synonymous with love or synonymous with the universe. We can call it the Tao, Buddha consciousness, whatever we're comfortable with. That on the sixth day, God created at all that was created and said it was good. He didn't say there was any sin. He didn't say there was any bad. He said it was good. No such thing as sin. Sin's been mistranslated from the original language of Jesus, Aramaic, as well as the original Hebrew. It only means a mistake. Who hasn't made a mistake? We're not punished by our sins. Sin itself is the punishment. And we can offer everyone the opportunity to escape their misconception of sin by offering them forgiveness, setting them free, as well as setting ourselves free. Sanders says, that's a lot of books. Yeah, it is a lot of books. I got another room filled with books. I got a hallway in another room with some books. I got 3 bookshelves in my living room, and I got some bookshelves in my basement. It's because I'm old. I've collected a lot of books. Daniel's laughing. What's up, Daniel? Vsauce Dad. I still have no idea what that means. Drummer says, nice. So how about do you have a favorite drummer? Daniel says, oh, it's got to go. Because it's late, but I subbed and we'll keep watching. Have a nice night. You too. It's morning for me. I've been up since 2:30. I get up every morning really early and do my breath work. I meditate and I do my yoga asanas. Then I make some coffee and I sit and I do some writing. Matt says, Vsauce is a YouTuber. Oh, I hope he's a good YouTuber. Whatever you guys think a good YouTuber does. What's up, Skits? Skits says, good morning, just Yogi building bookshelves. You know what? I don't think I would trust the bookshelf that I build. I had a friend who built airplanes. What are they called? You know, the light ones that you can build and then fly? And he's like, you know, hey, we should build an airplane together. And it's like, you know what? I built a cabinet once, and as soon as I put like a teacup on it, it fell apart. You want me to build an airplane and get in it and fly somewhere? Ultralight is what they're called. Jamie Brown says, hey, Skits. Skits says, hi, chat. Give me a second, guys. So, I wrote a bit about Zen this morning. I'm not a Zen master. I have studied Zen only a little bit. I've read quite a few books on Zen, some of the classics, Zen Mind's Beginner Mind. But it seems to me that the present moment, the practice of Zen is returning to the present moment. So forgiveness is the ultimate practice of Zen. Forgiveness refuses to make anything from the past real in this moment. We always think in terms of, why should I forgive? Why should I be the person to forgive? Why this person hurt me? If I forgive, why should I let him off the hook? But forgiveness is saying that in this moment, the past isn't real. How can it be real? It's not here. If it's here, it's not the past. So we might talk about emotional scars or even physical scars, but those are stories from the past that we've carried over to the present moment. Without a story of a physical scar, without the story, it's just a mark. We cherish our stories, but the stories that we cherish also imprison us in the past. Just because we release the past to the past, which is why Jesus said, let the dead bury the dead, doesn't mean that we don't have discernment. Doesn't mean that we don't have wisdom. Doesn't mean that we let people hurt us again and again and again. We're smarter than that. We can release others from the past. We can release ourselves from the past, returning to the innocence of the present moment, and still be wise enough, still have that innate intelligence to see that this could possibly harm us, that this could possibly hurt us. And now, because of the intuitive quality of the heart, when it's returned to the present moment, we navigate through it, we navigate around it. Trust the heart. Don't trust the past. The past is not an indicator of the present moment. We say we need the past because we can learn from it. What have we ever learned from the past? Have we learned that war never works, is always harmful, is always destructive? Have we learned that crime doesn't pay? Have we learned that drugs harm? Have we learned that drinking too much causes issues? What have we learned? What have we truly learned from the past? How about instead we learn from the present moment? The present moment is absolute love. The present moment doesn't need to be forgiven because it's innocent. If we kept holding to the present moment, each and every one of us, and then collectively, we'd have world peace. Like that. I mean, we obviously don't learn from the past that we can feed every single starving child. By the end of this day, it's almost 5:30. By the end of this day, virtually, we have the resources that virtually every single child that we can find would have a meal. Every single starving person, every single homeless person, by the end of the day, could have a home. And yet, this is where we find ourselves. Skit says, I'm sure it would be fine. Hope you have a nice day, Yogi brother. Hi to Jamie. Thank you, Skits. So, I'll wrap things up. It'll be a short live stream. I'm going to make my breakfast. I'm going to go out and take a walk. Hey, Centuri, how are you, my friend? It's been a bit. Nice to see you. I appreciate you popping in. Centuri says, good to see everyone. It's good to see you. I think you might be the only one here right now. Says I'm well. Well, that's good to hear. I'm going to wrap things up in a minute. We talked about Zen and the art of forgiveness, returning to the present moment, allowing ourselves and others to be firmly established in the present moment, in the present innocence that is offered. And stuff about that along those natures. I just brought up your channel. It's been a little bit. Centuri, why am I not subscribed to you? I thought that I was. You know, I see that you only have 6 videos. The 6 videos you have are awesome titles. I hope you revisit and maybe do some more stuff. Centuri says, I am well. I have restarted, of course, Miracles with a different approach. Hey, so tell me about your different approach. Hey, Mark, Gravity Core Fitness is here. Speaking of great content. Morning, greetings, Shidosi Yogi. Greetings, my friend. How are you? How was your weekend? And what's up for the week? Centuri says, thank you. You're welcome, my friend. Yeah, I'm interested in hearing about your different approach. Centauri says, last time I was trying to follow each exercise as written, like 10 times per hour. It's very stressful for me to try to remember. You mentioned that. I remember. You know, we can say that Course in Miracles is really a course in love, and that what it does is removes the obstacles that keep us from the awareness of love's presence. Love is always present. Can't be otherwise, because love is reality itself. Anything that we experience that isn't love isn't reality. So we remove the obstacles that keep us from experiencing reality, that keep us from the present moment. Present moment is love. Imagine if we allowed everyone to exist within the present moment without the story of the past. So if it's a course in love, and if it's a course in removing the obstacles, anything that's giving you stress, Centauri, um, is interfering with that process of recognizing love in the present moment. So I think you're on the right track. Centauri says, this time I just let the exercise come as it will without trying so hard. Centauri says, great insight, and thank you. You're welcome. Yeah, it's all about love. Take that easy approach. It's simply retraining the mind. I love two thoughts. That one of my favorite lines in the Course in Miracles is, the one holy true thing that one can say about the past is that it's not here. Past isn't here. All of stress is bringing the past into the present moment and projecting it into the future. So if A Course in Miracles psychology is stress, it's because we're saying, I can't do this. I haven't been able to do this. We're giving ourselves stress in the present moment where it doesn't belong. It's the same with uh, sobriety. I always tell people, it's always and only day one. I don't count the days that I've been sober. Roughly, it's been about 26 years. But it's always day one. Day one. Even I can break it down even further. It's this moment. This moment I'm sober. That's enough for me. That allowed me to free myself from past addiction. That I didn't want to carry that with me. I didn't want to be, hey, if going to meetings is helpful for you, go to meetings. Do what you can. Do whatever's needed. But what I found is there was people going to meetings 40 years after the last drink who were just as addicted as they were before. They were addicted in thought, maybe not in substance, and that's a whole lot better than being addicted to the actual thing. But I felt I was given a gift with sobriety. My past addiction fell away in an instant, and I saw no reason to keep bringing it to mind. So I stepped into the future when I went to meetings, and it was largely because I missed the social aspect. Going to bars. I thought maybe, at first I thought I could go to bars and not drink, and I could, but then I realized why. It's not fun. It wasn't even fun when I was drinking, now that I realize it. Now that I was sober and realized it. So then I thought, well, if I went to meetings, it would give me that social aspect. But to be that centered in an addiction, even when you were addiction free, or that at least was the premise, I don't know. It wasn't my path. So I left that behind as well. So the practice of the Course should keep us centered in the present moment. It's a simple practice. Forgiveness sets us free, and it's a practice. Forgiveness is simply giving up all hope of a better past. You're never going to have a better past, ever. And you don't need a better past. What you need is a happy present moment. And it's the present moment that we extend to a happier future. Jamie says, Side of Gravity Core Fitness. I ended up talking a little bit longer than I thought. We're going to wrap things up, I think. So I didn't actually talk of, I talked of A Course in Miracles, but I didn't talk from The Course in Miracles. Sometimes I think that's the best way to do it. You know, we offer our own insights. Centauri says, have a good day. You too. Reach out anytime, Centauri, anytime. Easiest way is Facebook Messenger, if anyone has it. Everyone's welcome to reach out. Doesn't matter what. Give me, I'm going to read one thing, and then we'll wrap it up. I'm going to go. This is from chapter 13, The Guiltless World, paragraph 5, or section 9, paragraph 5. Now, the moment of now, has no meaning to the ego. The present merely reminds it of its past hurts, and it reacts to the present as if it were the past. The ego cannot tolerate release from the past. Although the past is over, the ego tries to preserve its image by responding to it as if it were present. It dictates your reactions to those you meet in the present from a past reference point, obscuring their present reality. In effect, if you follow the ego's dictate, you will react to your brother as though he were someone else, and this will surely prevent you from recognizing him as he is. And you will receive messages from him out of your own past, because by making it real in the present, you are forbidding yourself to let it go. You thus deny yourself the message of release that every brother and sister offers you now. Emphasis on now. What's up, Sniper? So the ultimate act of Zen is forgiveness, as it returns everything and everyone to the present moment. Centauri says, we will talk more soon. Awesome. I look forward to it. Sepa says, I am the creator, true self. I am the actor, ego self. Man, nice. I like that. Sepa says, Grand Risings all. So, Sniper, we're about to wrap things up. I hope you're getting a good start to your week. Appreciate you all being here and joining me. Brief discussion. Managed to make it just about half an hour. That's more than enough. We don't need a whole lot of Yogi. To paraphrase AC/DC, whole lot of Rosie. One of the all-time great 3-chord power groups ever. Except it says, so far so good. Nice. Glad to hear it. I was hoping we'd hear from our friend Rosie this morning. She normally leaves a message on one of my shorts. I hope she's okay. I hope that means she's getting some sleep and she's home and she's resting. All right. So, guys, I'll be live again 1 o'clock. I'm going to go have something to eat. I'm going to take my walk. I'm going to get in my kettlebell workout and do some other stuff. I'm going to see everyone later. Take care and much love to you all.